Hi everyone, my name's Christina and I'm a travel specialist for As You Wish Vacations. While I book many vacation destinations, I specialize in the Disney products. This video series focuses on Walt Disney World specifically. We have almost completed planning our trip. We talked about when to go, where to stay, we've made dining reservations, now we're making our Fastpasses. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the attractions in the Magic Kingdom that offer Fastpasses. I'm going to do another video a little bit later in the series that covers the rest of the attractions that don't necessarily have or need Fastpasses. So this one's just going to cover the attractions that have Fastpass as an option, so you know which ones that your family wants to pick as one of your three. So just as a refresher, I'm going to put a link here to the video I did on Fastpass Basics that kind of explains what it is and how it works. And then don't forget, there is a tutorial on how to book them. So I'm going to go through the attractions in three different groups. The first group I'm going to go through are I call them the Priority C attractions. I call them Priority A, B, and C. Priority A is going to save you the most amount of time in line. Priority B is going to definitely save you some time in line, but maybe not as much as Priority A. And Priority C is basically not really worth a fast pass because you can just walk right onto the attraction. So those attractions in Priority C, I'm going to kind of go through and tell you a little bit about them. And if it sounds like an attraction you're interested in, then maybe you should make a fast pass. So again, Priority C are attractions that rarely have more than a 10 to 20 minute wait. You can get right on, so don't necessarily make your fast passes for one of these, but you still get to know what they're about. So Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid is a slow-moving ride. It opened in 2012 with the new Fantasyland expansion. And you sit in a clamshell, and the clamshell moves slowly and brings you through the story of the Little Mermaid. So if you do have young kids, it might be a little scary. The Ursula area is a little dark, and she's singing Poor Unfortunate Souls. So not scary for most kids, but if you do have someone who's afraid of Ursula, may not be the best. Dumbo is great for everyone. Might be a little bit slow for adults and thrill seekers, but there's something classic about it, so I love it. Dumbo is we call them Dumbo style attractions, so it's really hard to, it's a spoke attraction, so it basically has it lifts up off the ground and it flies around. I'm sure everyone knows Dumbo, so as I'm going through the rest of the attractions, I'll say Dumbo style attraction. It's basically kind of a hub and spoke, and it flies. So Dumbo used to be one of the hardest things to get on. Now it's really easy because they've added a second hub and spoke, and they made the queue line really, really cool. So you actually don't really need to do this. But if you want to, or if it's busy, they give you a pager like you would get if you made a reservation at a chain restaurant. And when it's your time to ride, they'll buzz it. While you're waiting, there's a really cute play area. It looks like the circus and kids can run through, and it's really fun. I don't remember the last time I've seen that the line's been long enough to have to do that, though. So Dumbo is definitely one of those attractions you can ride anytime. It's a Small World. That one can get a little bit longer, it can get to be 20 or 40 minutes, but if you do it first thing in the morning or later at night, it's usually only 10 or 20, and it's totally worth the wait. It's a Small World is a boat ride, and it brings you through animatronics singing It's a Small World. Great for everyone, nothing scary, nothing dark, just a boat ride. A Mad Tea Party are spinning teacups. That line does get a little bit longer as well, so you do want to do that a little bit earlier in the day. If you do it at the height of the day, it's an outside attraction, it's really hot, so it's not necessarily ride any time, but the line doesn't really get longer than 20 minutes. PhilharMagic is a great place to escape from the heat. It is a 3D movie, and it has scenes. Donald goes through scenes from some of your favorite Disney movies. It's air conditioned. You usually only have to wait till the next show. The show is about 20 minutes, so that's usually about how long you'll have to wait. Unless it's like Christmas week, you usually don't have to wait longer than that. You know, Monsters, Inc. Laugh 4. Monsters, Inc. Laugh 4 is a show. It has someone kind kind of in the background doing the comedy, so they interact with the audience a little bit with the screen, and you can be that guy. So it's a fun show, great for kids. Kids love it and they die laughing hysterically. And then you have the magic carpets. The magic carpets of Aladdin are in Adventureland. It's a Dumbo style ride, and rarely has a wait. You get to ride a magic carpet and it goes up and you fly, and watch out for the camels, they spit. So those are the priority C fast passes. You don't necessarily need a fast pass for those. You might want to hit some of them earlier in the day, but most of them you can just walk right on. The priority B fast passes. So you only get 3 fast passes. You're gonna want to make sure most of them are in that priority A. Priority B are going to be the ones that you make if you have 2 days in the park, or if there's usually some availability later in the day. So if you've made your fast passes and you're going to make your 4th, these are some of the ones you want to make your 4th fast pass for. Or you want to ride these earlier in the morning. So make your fast passes for later in the day for some of those priority A rides, and do some of these in the morning. So priority B, we have Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean is in Adventureland. It is a slow-moving boat ride. Totally accessible to all ages, but it is pirates. It's dark. There's fire. There's cannonballs that go off. So it might be a little scary. It's not really scary, but it might be a little bit. Haunted Mansion, same thing. It is dark. There's ghosts. It's called the Haunted Mansion. It's slow moving. Really anyone can go on it, but if you do have a kid who's afraid of the dark, might not be the best. Meet and greets. You can meet Cinderella and Elena. That one usually gets to be a pretty long line. I would recommend that one over the next one I'm going to talk about. The other princess meet is Rapunzel and Tiana. So Elena, this is the only place you can meet her. So if you want to meet her, you definitely want to consider a fast pass for this. Cinderella you can meet at other locations, including France and Epcot, at a bunch of at all the princess character meals. Rapunzel and Tiana don't meet at those character meals, so this is one of the few places you can see them. Rapunzel does also. Oh no, this is where you can meet Rapunzel and Tiana. So those are interesting. You also have they're in Fantasyland. You also have Mickey Mouse and Tinkerbell in Town Square. Tinkerbell gets to be about 20 minutes long. Mickey's usually longer. So if you do want to meet Mickey, he talks. Either hit him first thing in the morning, in the evening, like when people start to leave, or make a fast pass for him, because it does get to be 40 to 60 minutes long. And if meeting talking Mickey is important to you, it's worth it. If not, you can meet Mickey in any of the other parks as well. You can also make a fast pass to meet Ariel. I've never waited more than 5 minutes to meet Ariel, so she's kind of tucked in the back where Journey into Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid is. So I don't think many people know that she's there. So I've never really waited very long to meet her. Fast pass might not be worth it. The other thing is Barnstormer. Barnstormer is a kiddie coaster. It does have a height requirement. I believe it's 35 inches. It's one of the lower ones. It's kind of like a kids first coaster type thing. That is in Storybook Circus next to Dumbo. And again, it really doesn't have a very long wait, but it can get longer in the afternoon, so you might want it if it's your kid's first roller coaster and you want to make sure that they get on it. That's when it's kind of worth it. Now we're getting into priority A. These are the ones that I would make your fast passes for. You only get to make 3, but there are more than 3 here. So maybe you have 2 days in the Magic Kingdom. Maybe if you can't get them all, you make your fast passes, and these are the ones that you ride in the first 2 hours. You've heard me say it over and over. The first 2 hours are the time that you can get the most done. You can get more done in the first 2 to 3 hours that the park's open than the entire rest of the day. The crowds just don't start to build. The crowds for Seven Dwarfs and Space Mountain, which I'll talk about, those are, like within park opening, the lines are long. So those are ones that I would definitely make your reservation, your fast passes for. And then same thing with Peter Pan. So those are the 3 that get long like as soon as the park opens. The other ones, if you can get on first thing in the morning, you really don't have to wait very much more than 20 minutes. But if you don't get on them in the first hour or 2, you're waiting a long time. You're waiting at least an hour, if not more than that. So the first one you have is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. This opened in 2014. It's still the newest attraction in Magic Kingdom, so it's still really popular. People run to it first thing in the morning. It's a coaster. It's very, very short, so it's not really worth waiting a long time for, because your wait to ride time is very, very bad ratio. But the queue is really cool. They have interactive games for kids. It's one of those interactive queues, so it is fun to wait in, but this is definitely one you want to make your Fastpass for. It's the hardest one to get, so if you don't get it 60 days in advance, you're usually not going to get it. You can keep trying back and you can looking back and you might get lucky, but you're probably not going to get this if you don't get it that first day. That's okay, because if you ride it first thing in the morning, you don't have to wait. There's also other options, so if this is really important to you, just we can have a chat. There's other events and stuff where you can ride this over and over and not have a wait. It is an additional cost, so I'm not going to talk about it here, but we'll talk about it in another episode, or if you email me, I'm happy to chat about all your options on getting Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Peter Pan is my favorite attraction in the Magic Kingdom. I'm 30 years old. It's my favorite attraction, and it is the longest line. It is a very, very slow loading attraction, so it's hard to the capacity is not great, so they can't get a whole lot of people per hour. So Peter Pan, you definitely want a Fastpass for, or you want to do it first thing. So what I usually do is I ride Seven Dwarfs first, Peter Pan second, and then I go through the rest of the park. Or I ride Peter Pan first and I Fastpass Seven Dwarfs. Or there's just so many different options, and it's so personal. So I'm hoping that this stuff helps you guys, but if you want to really talk about what's best for your family, let's talk in person. Let's get on a call, email me, let's discuss it. One of the benefits to a travel agent. I have to say it once every episode, right guys? So priority A, you have Seven Dwarfs. I talked about how it is kind of a kids first coaster. It's a combination between a dark ride and a coaster. It's pretty slow, but it's thrilling for younger kids. It might be a little boring for adults, but it's the most popular attraction, and kids love it. They absolutely love it. So if you can get on it, you want to. If you're an adult, it might be worth skipping. Peter Pan is a classic. It was one of the opening day attractions in Disneyland, one of the opening day attractions here, so it definitely has Walt's touch on it. That line gets to be an hour within the first hour, so that's one of the ones you want to hit first. I love the queue. I love being able to walk through the queue. If you do have a Fastpass, you miss the queue, so you don't get to walk through the Darlings nursery. It is a slow-moving dark ride. It's dark in there if you kids who are afraid of the dark, but otherwise there's nothing very scary. It's not like the Haunted Mansion or Pirates. You have Space Mountain. Space Mountain gets pretty long, pretty fast. It's a roller coaster. It's in the dark. It's a little jerky for me. It's not my favorite roller coaster. I'd much rather go on one of the other ones, but so I'll usually skip this one. If it's your first time or your kids are finally tall enough to ride it, it does have one of the higher height requirements. It's definitely fun to do. I would make a Fastpass for this one. The three that I just talked about are the ones that I would definitely make a Fastpass for. If you make a Fastpass for Seven Dwarfs, Peter Pan, and Space Mountain, then you want to hit Splash Mountain and Thunder Mountain first thing in the morning. Splash Mountain is a flume ride, but it's not like the flume ride at your local park. It tells a story. It tells the story of Song of the South, which is a Disney movie that came out a long time ago. It's no longer in distribution. You really can't get it, but the attraction, you don't need to have seen the movie. It completely tells the story for you. It's so much fun. You'll end up singing zippity-doo-dah as you're leaving. The thing about Splash Mountain, though, is it does have a drop, that 40-foot drop, and then you do end up going 35 miles on that drop, which is pretty fast and pretty scary. So the flume ride might be scary for younger kids. There is a height requirement here, but it's one of the best attractions for the whole family. Thunder Mountain is a coaster. It's an outdoor coaster. It's my favorite coaster. I think that they do a great job with theming. It's a great coaster. It's so much fun. There is a height requirement. It's not super big, but if your kid's not really a thrill seeker, or I would definitely skip it. They usually can't ride it till they're older, though. You have Enchanted Tales with Belle. Enchanted Tales with Belle is a newer attraction. It came with the new Fantasyland expansion, opened in 2012. It is story time with Belle used to exist. It's kind of like that. So you go through an enchanted mirror to get to the library where you sit down and Belle tells you the story of her, tells you her story about how she met the Beast and all of that. Kids get to participate. So it's really, really fun for younger kids. Belle is my favorite, but as an adult going by myself, not usually one that I'll do. I'll do it every now and then just because it's cute, but it's definitely not aimed at adults. If you do have younger kids or a princess fan, this is a must-do. You can do it first thing in the morning, but it does get to be a little bit longer as the day goes on. So this is like a first 3-hour thing. It's not necessarily a first hour. You can do a 20-minute wait or whatever. It's usually lives around a 40-minute wait. Another one that lives around a 40-minute wait is Buzz Lightyear. It is a game where it's a shooting game, so you have your laser shooters and you're trying to get points by hitting Z's. So it's a fun interactive game. While the wait time here is usually not as inflated as other places, so if it says you're going to wait 40 minutes, expect an hour. This is one that I usually won't wait in this line unless I have a Fastpass. This is one that you can sometimes get at the end of the day. Most of the time you can't, so you might want to, if you have Toy Story fans, this might be one that you want to do either first thing in the morning or make a Fastpass for. The Jungle Cruise is my other favorite. It is so corny. Most people don't love it as much as I do, but the wait time it's such a slow loading attraction and the queue is so unbearable. It's outside, it's not air conditioned, it's switchbacks, so you're looking at the same people. This is a ride it first 2 hours or make a Fastpass for it. Again, I'll usually hit Seven Dwarfs, Peter Pan, and then go right to Jungle Cruise and have my Fastpasses for later in the day for Splash and Thunder. The other one that gets really long if you have young kids is Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh is a slow moving dark ride. Again, it's dark, not super scary, great for small kids, but the line gets pretty long, so do that one first in the morning or make a Fastpass. So here are my recommendations, my Fastpass recommendations for the Magic Kingdom. They would completely be different for your family, but as a general blanket, if you have small children, the ones that I would Fastpass are Peter Pan, Enchanted Tales with Belle, and a Princess Meet and Greet. I would do those three and then do Winnie the Pooh first thing in the morning. If you're a thrill seeker, you want to make your Fastpasses for Space, Splash, and Thunder Mountains, and then do Seven Dwarfs first thing in the morning. If you are a whole family made up of different people with different interests, I would do Peter Pan, because I think everyone loves Peter Pan, right? Seven Dwarfs and Splash Mountain. This might be a little different if your kids aren't tall enough for Seven Dwarfs and Splash, but those are ones that are great for the whole family, grandma and grandpa, everyone. So again, these would change based on the days you're going, your family, and all of that. If you want to have a discussion on what I think, make sure you email me. My email is christina@aywvacations.com. Follow me for tips, tricks, and other destinations on social media. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm at aywchristina on all of those. And then I hope all your vacations are exactly as you wish.